this lesson, we're taking a look at the second extended pentatonic scale, where we're linking together patterns 3, 4 and 5 of the minor pentatonic. These extended scales are designed to combine the most finger-friendly parts of multiple scale patterns, so you can increase the range of notes you can play over and help you flow more freely around the fretboard. This is part of my minor pentatonic series, which you can find a link for in the description. I would advise becoming comfortable with the 5 pentatonic patterns as well as the first extended pentatonic scale, so you can find lessons for all of those if you want to check that out. You'll also find a link to my Patreon page where you can download diagrams and guitar tabs for all the material covered in these lessons, but for now let's dive in and take a look at this second extended scale. So for this second extended pentatonic scale, we're sticking in the key of A, and it's probably worth at this point just having a run through the scales that we're going to be linking together. So we've got pattern 3 in the key of A, rooted up here on the 12th fret with the 3rd finger. Then pattern 4, also rooted on the 12th fret but with the 1st finger. Then pattern 5 rooted all the way up here on the 17th fret with the 3rd finger. So you want to make sure you're really familiar with those patterns before you start linking together. There are lessons for each of those patterns in the pentatonic series. So now if we take a look at combining them, obviously we've got the root note here on the 12th fret of the A string, but we're going to start from the very bottom of pattern 3 just to make sure you get the full range. So we're going to be starting with the 1st finger on the 10th fret of the low E, and then we're just going to play up the first 3 strings of pattern 3 as normal, which is super simple because it's all just 1st and 3rd finger on the 10th and 12th frets. So we've got 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd. And here we get our first pattern transition because we're going to slide the 3rd finger up 2 frets into pattern 4. So 3rd finger slides up from the 12th fret to the 14th fret on the D string. That gives us our pattern 3 to 4 transition. Then we continue to climb pattern 4, so 1st finger 12th fret G, 3rd finger 14th fret G. Then if you remember, we've got one of these little step up movements on the 4th pattern. So 1st finger's going to step up to the 13th fret on the B string and 3rd finger up to the 15th fret. Now we have our next transition up into pattern 5. We're going to slide the 3rd finger up another tone, so another 2 frets up to the 17th fret. Now we're at the top of pattern 5, and once more we've just got another tone movement with the 1st finger on the top string 15th fret and 3rd finger on the 17th fret on the top string. Okay, so right back from the bottom, we're starting in pattern 3, playing up the first 3 strings, sliding up the 3rd finger on the D string. Now we're in pattern 4, continue up the next 2 strings, so there's G string, step up for the B string, slide up another tone for pattern 5, and then finish it off on the top. So first thing you want to do is just get used to that movement and practice linking all of those scales together in an ascending fashion. So once more, pattern 3, pattern 4, pattern 5. Once you've got that down, you want to practice descendant as well. So starting right at the top of pattern 5 on the 17th fret, we've got a slide down on the B string, and then we're continuing down pattern 4. So you've got to squeeze the 3rd finger and bring it in. Another slide on the D string to get back into pattern 3, and then just continue descending. And then I always think it sounds a little bit neater to climb back up and resolve on that root note on the 12th fret of the A string. So once more, we're starting off up in pattern 5, sliding down on B string, continuing to descend pattern 4, sliding down on D string, then continuing to descend pattern 3, then resolving back up on the root. Now when you're descending, you can either step down or slide down first. For example, if I start up in pattern 5, when I get to the B string, I can slide down with the 3rd finger, then play the 1st finger, or I can do it the other way around. I can descend, pick the 3rd finger, 1st finger, and slide the 1st finger down. So it depends whether you prefer sliding down with 3rd, then picking 1st, or picking third, then first, then sliding. Both ways work absolutely fine. Or you probably find one of them naturally feels more comfortable for you, and it's the same thing on the D string. I can slide first, then pick, or I can pick and then slide. Just depends which finger you prefer sliding with, but practice that descending motion as well. And resolving on that root note. Now it's time to link them both together and complete the full cycle. So starting right down from the bottom on pattern 3, we're going to climb all the way up. Pattern 4, pattern 5, and back down. And if you can get that down, you've got your full second extended pentatonic scale. Once more, we've got pattern 3, pattern 4, pattern 5, and back, pattern 5, pattern 4, pattern 3, and end on the root. Aim to get that to a point where you can play through it comfortably without any mistakes, and then it's worth trying to add in some legato methods to try and increase a bit of smoothness. So basically incorporating some hammer-ons and pull-offs, which you'll likely use when you're soloing. So if I do that, we're going to start with hammer-ons in pattern 3. Then hammer slide on the D string, hammer on G, then hammer slide on B, and hammer on the top string. So once more. And when you've got combinations of hammers and slides, you can swap them around if it feels more comfortable. So for example, on D string, we can go hammer, hammer, I can go slide, then hammer, and then same on B. Just got to try them out and see what's more comfortable. I think I prefer to hammer first and then slide, but it's a little bit different for everyone. And then likewise, when descending, you can use pull-offs in the same way. So I'm going to be pulling off on the high E, then pull off slide on the B, or slide then pull off. Again, depends what's more comfortable. Pull off on G, and then slide and pull off on D, or pull off slide, and then at the end we're going to go pull off on A, pull off on low E, and then you can climb back up to the root note. You can use a hammer on that A string if you like, just to help link everything together. So if I go up and down using entirely as much legato as I possibly can, you'll get this. So that's a great way to flow between the patterns seamlessly and add some extra smoothness to your lead playing. So now you have both extended pentatonic shapes, make sure you can cycle up and down them proficiently and you understand how the 5 patterns link together to create these scales. Then start experimenting with them, so try them out in different keys, try them in your own improv, and always keep an eye out for how the guitar players you admire use these scales so you can steal some tricks off them and incorporate them into your own playing to grow as a guitar player. Remember, you can find the link to the full minor pentatonic series in the description, as well as my Patreon page where you can download diagrams and guitar tabs for all the material. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and I'd really appreciate you giving the video a like if you found it helpful. There are plenty of song videos on the channel, some of which will definitely use these scales and put them into practice, and I've also got some pentatonic lick videos coming up as well, so keep an eye out for those, and I'll see you in the next lesson.